This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American. Living in New Jersey, near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Dooney. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. My wife is right there. The angle of the webcam didn't get her, but she's very close. She's trying to listen to Anthony Bourdain, and I am trying to be the lowest possible volume. I only have 2 tweets for this YouTube. Present to everyone. This is that, I always say listeners, like anyone could be listening, but I've watched my click history data, and the only people who could be listening repetitively, and I don't know that I have repetitive listeners on this Uber. I think I do. I have data that points to the fact that I have repeat listeners to Ubereats beginner. So listeners who are repeat listeners, I have to believe you're doing on-demand delivery of some Uber Eats, but maybe you're doing Uber or Lyft, maybe you're DoorDash. So for those of you who are, some of you may be in an area that's expanding. It's a new area, new coverage area, and the company is encouraging people to do what I'm doing with money. So you see promotions. Okay, guaranteed $25 an hour, 9 until 9, now until 9, 90% requests accepted, 1 trip minimum. So by my memory, the Uber Eats in where I am in New Jersey, Uber Eats has recently added Bergen County, New Jersey. But where I am in Hudson, that used to say 90% requested. The recent promotions on the app, so I went back into the archives of this Twitter feed and I found this. It no longer says that I must accept. So now there's only, I get in line for an hour and I got to do 1 trip. I don't have to, so I can do 1 trip and get the 25. Requirement here is canceled. It is omitted from the recent presentation. Listeners, if you are the people I think you are and you're doing on demand, it's highly unlikely that you're also doing on demand and you're in one of these areas. It's all of those things are common with me, then you don't need this additional explanation. However, if you're doing on demand and you are not inundated with means, by this going away, I could have an hour of work, I could do 1 trip, and all of a sudden I have 5 minutes remaining in that hour, and I know I'm going to quit. I just decided to do 1 trip. For me, it would be, I got to turn my attention to something else I was doing, or my wife is coming home. I know I'm going to cancel, and in that 5 minutes, I get an offer to do go to another restaurant, and I let it pass. I don't accept. And by that, my hour would have 50% accept rate, so my $25 would all be. on a bicycle. So I get $3.25 just because I let one job pass. Now that means I can do one. The end of the hour comes and I can just skip it. It doesn't cancel my promotional. So that to me is significant. And the other thing, this is my most, on that day I did 4 trips. It was my biggest day. I got $12, and it wasn't a day, it was about 3 hours, which is just embarrassingly low money. But then being other, there's the promotion. I don't know why anyone does this without Uber is criticized me, and if it were not for me being in a new area, all of a sudden I work 4 hours for $1 an hour. And I know what I did that day. I could not have worked harder. And then this is the first time I've seen my rating. And I'm going to show you what it looked like before today. It looked like this. And if I were to click on the star rating in my app, it would take me to a screen to say, hey, don't worry about it. You just don't have enough jobs. So your rating, I haven't been rated enough. They're not required to rate us. So you have to get a certain number before I finally seem to have reached that number. And my current rating is 5.0, which is a relief to me. And that's for 10 trips. That would be for a week. So I got 5 for the week. I don't know what my accumulated rating is. And I was online for 16 hours. Now for me, much of this time is just at home, being online, doing other things. And sometimes that's hours at a time, especially if I time. So I actually go online, I'm accumulating hours here, and I never get any jobs. So I get nothing added here, but I get time added here. So it's arguable that I'm logging hours as if I'm working, but I'm not working. I'm sitting on my ass at home doing other things, sometimes productive things. And I've got one more tweet, but I know what that is. That's me doing this. Right, so that's my live stream that I'm doing now. So listeners, the whole reason I queued this up is to show this chart. I have concluded with relative confidence cannot be broken. Can't go into the detail and find out, okay, that or this day, for example, I should have earned, $25 instead of, and it's in there, but I don't know how this other is distributed. Now, in a very quick question with an Uber professional in Hoboken, face to face, I said, is that bonus number available? I can't remember he or she, I think he assured me that it was. And I'm now relatively confident the opposite is true, that I don't know the breakdown of that 189. So to try to find that out and claim that I was getting shorted on a bonus, they would have called that, because they'd say this, quit complaining. You should have earned $265 to deliver, not $200. Duty, middle-aged American living in Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type to Google. And by the way, this experiment was successful. My wife did not have to get up and leave. I was quiet enough. This is a first aid because I cut myself in the kitchen. I was making a plastic device, so I have my phone in a hole. My Uber backpack strap. This is what I have to show for it in terms of an injury. It was the plastic holster. Listeners, if you are doing on delivery on bicycle and you do not have your phone on your backpack straps, I've looked at a lot of people, and I don't think anyone has a better solution than on your backpack strap, because whether you have a jacket on or a t-shirt or whatever you're wearing above your waist, you put your backpack on, your cell phone is there, so it's always in. It's totally awesome, and I have to credit to the people who are doing on-demand delivery very seriously, to credit for that. So listeners, learn from the high performers. Put your cell phone on your backpack strap. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.